Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei 2015, our final stop on the Season 9 tour before we head to the World Championship in Katowice, which is around 6 weeks away. Tickets are still available, so make sure you check out on our website, eslgaming.com. Our three good friends are back on the desk with us, Todd, Kalaris and Susie. Bit of an abrupt end to that last game, or rather a 10-minute wait to have an abrupt end at the end of that game. Disappointing, I guess, way for San, particularly for you. I know you're a bit of a San fan, to crash out, but almost predictable.
Yeah, I think so. The way Seoul-Ki was playing out, and unfortunately for San, just didn't look in form at all compared to how he would normally be looking in the matchup in 2014. So, yeah, bit of a tough one.
Same for 4GG, unfortunately, as well. If we check in with the bracket and show you the results from Group C, just to confirm that Seoul-Ki and Life do advance from Group C as the top two players. Unfortunately, 4GG coming out of that group without a single map win, beaten as well in the bottom bracket by San, who would then eventually go out to Seoul-Ki. We also now move on to Group D, so let's show you that. There are 4 new players in there, of course, one of which is a first-timer here at the Intel Extreme Masters, a man who has meant, well, he's won plenty already and he's made a name for himself over the last 3 years in StarCraft 2, and yet somehow is still not even 18. It's Maru, of course, a fantastic Terran player, very prodigious-like in terms of the way that he's played in Korea, and great to see him finally at the Intel Extreme Masters. He goes up against True, that's our first game, and then the other match, which is already underway on our B stream with Nathanius and Rotterdam, is Hydra versus Parting. Winners will play each other in dual tournament format as ever. So Maru versus True then. Great to have Maru here. What are your personal thoughts on it collectively? What do you think, Todd?
I think both players are pretty good in this matchup. I've been following True a lot more closely than I've been following Maru, and he's just like this super fast player who's definitely on par with some of the best Zergs out there. So it's going to be cool. I'm hoping to see, you know, long games, a lot of multitask attacks here and there, you know, Mutas defending, and just some good games overall.
Okay, James, it seems like we've been talking about Maru forever, a bit like Life really, and yet he's still so young. But actually 2014 wasn't the kindest of years to Maru, was it?
Not so much. I mean, the problem is that over in Korea, everyone's really, really good. And of course,
just a little bit.
Really?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, kinda. It's all right. It's okay over there.
It's all right. Yeah.
And Maru, obviously, you know, he can hang with the best of them time and time again. I mean, he's one of the youngest champions in the entirety of StarCraft 2. So I don't know. I think 2015 for him is really going to be good. I think still, just with the age that he is, I still think he has even more room to evolve and change his gameplay up in time, and I think he's going to hit 2015 really hard.
Yeah, it's incredible to think that it was almost like Life was 17 for about 3 years, and it feels like Maru's been 17 for about 3 years as well. Where do they find these kids? Why are they so young when they come out of Korea?
I feel the exact same, because I remember a few years back at IPL in Las Vegas, there was the GSTL finals, and he was playing there, and he was looking the exact same as now, like physically, and even in game, he was still already very strong. Maybe he's stronger now, but
not
he was. I remember.
not even
IPL.
18. Not even 18 until July.
In IPL, I believe he was like 14.
He was,
15. Oh, he was just. Even his voice sounded like a child, you know, when you would talk to him, and he was very mean.
So come on,
he's come out of his shell a bit more. Maru, Maru has predicted that he and Parting will come out of groups, where for True has told me that it will be him and Maru.
Okay.
Parting actually thinks True is going to, like, it's kind of funny. Group D, everyone wants everyone else to make it out with them. Everyone has placed themselves coming out of groups, though, obviously. True did tell me, though, he does have incredible stage fright when he comes to these foreign tournaments.
Yes.
He's like, I don't understand. I've been on stage. I've been in the booth in Korea many, many times. But as soon as I come to a foreign tournament and I sit there, he just freaks out. And he goes, if I can get over that, I think I'd be able to do really well.
It's a great point as well you raised, because Apollo was talking about this yesterday. We were talking about, you know, how does he get over that kind of... Because he is a tremendous player, and he has... We've seen him at Intel Extreme Masters before, and you just go, oh, he's got to make the round of 8, and he never has. Why?
I guess if Apollo keeps predicting that True's going to do something, eventually it'll come true. Eventually.
That's why he didn't do it very explicitly here, maybe. He doesn't want to lay the Apollo curse up on True.
Yeah.
No,
well,
no,
he did
hold
it
on,
tournaments in a
boys.
row,
I have to protect my bro here because he was 100% yesterday. You
He
can't
did well.
call it a curse if he's 100%. That's not how it works.
True.
Those were his words, not mine.
You want to talk about San Jose?
Oh, now we're going to bat for old times.
Anyway,
Okay.
so I think one notable thing about True right now is that San Jose, Shenzhen, and now he's made it through open bracket each time.
Yeah.
And the fact, I really feel like this is his time to finally make it to the round of 8. So, yeah, but picking versus Maru, that's kind of hard, isn't it?
Tough, isn't it?
I'll go with True because I'm a softie and I want him to do well.
Okay. They don't have a huge amount of history. They've only met once in official matches, so difficult to, kind of find any form between the two of them. But Maru won that one 2-1. Does that sway you at all?
Not really. I mean, I was going to go with Maru anyway going into this game.
Right.
I think Maru, whenever he's on, he doesn't seem to care. He just does what he needs to do. Every time I see the guy, he has no care about him whatsoever.
Terran life.
He just gets on with it.
Yeah, he's the Terran life.
Yeah. So the idea of True having some kind of stage fright issues or whatever, Maru's not going to have to deal with those, and I think he's going to power on through.
Okay, Todd.
I have to agree with James, which always...
Does it pain you?
It worries you, doesn't
Sorry.
it?
It's very difficult,
Worrying.
but...
Very worrying. You'll start busting out some great French on you if you carry on.
Oh, please, never again.
That was pretty rough. All right, thank you very much. Let's head into our first match of Group D. Luckily, neither of these men know any French, and if they do, they're keeping it to themselves and certainly not upsetting Todd. It's time for Game 1 of Group D with Maynard and Apollo.
G'day guys, welcome back. Maynard and Apollo here. I'm not going to try any French at all, wouldn't embarrass myself. I'm just going to talk about StarCraft right now. We got Maru versus True coming up. Apollo, your favorite player against the very last Terran left.
I suppose I would say against my favorite Terran too.
Yeah, it's a tough order.
Maybe that's going a little bit too far, but I've got a very soft spot for innovation. But Maru, for me, is so very good at playing StarCraft, and his style is lovable. I've got a soft spot for people like MMA who play a very dynamic, very aggressive game. And that's what we're going to see today, too. That is how Maru likes to play Terran. He isn't the traditional sit-back 3-command center, build up, and then have an army in the late game. He is the type of player who will want to be aggressive from the get-go. And to be honest, it's also one of his weaknesses, if not his biggest weakness, that kind of style, but it's very fun to watch.
Well, we've brought it up many, many times over the cast this weekend, especially with Zerg games, because there have been quite a few on the new maps. Tougher for the Zerg to get to that third base, but the meta is shifting where Zerg is starting to realize that if they go for mutas consistently on 2 bases, they can shut down things like Banshee play, Hellbat pushes, stuff like that. So it's starting to sort of, the Hellbat push was helping Terran very, very well against TVZ, and to be frank, it still is. But we saw Hyun knock it back yesterday, and...
Zergs are definitely starting to deal with these type of plays. There's been a couple of difficult things that Zergs have had to go through the last couple of months. The number one was the push as soon as 2-2 was done. That was, for a lot of Zergs, almost unstoppable until recent, where they've been able to deal with it with the high Baneling count. And then more recent is the Hellbat type of pushes, the Hellion Banshee Hellbat types of play. And like you said, it's been slowed down, they've started to stop it, and things have started to swing in favor of Zerg again. But in this matchup between these two players, they haven't swung far enough for me to believe that True can beat Maru. I think True is going to advance from this group. I think he's going to get to the top 8 for the first time. I believe in him, but he's not going to win this series.
I'm feeling a Maru parting group. I actually agree with the prediction of Maru himself. I think Maru parting is probably what we're going to see out of here. But I mean, True was very, very impressive. He made a couple micro controls, a couple missed clicks here and there yesterday. Or not yesterday, the day before, sorry. So, I mean, there's some signs of cracks in the pavement there, but True is incredible. He's consistently made it into the group stages. Can't quite get into that round of 8, but he's obviously looking to change history today.
Todd said it good and said it well up there, that he's a very fast type player. So he's very good with his mechanics, and he's just overall capable of doing a lot of things all at once. And when I've seen him play the best to the best that he can do, he looks amazing, and he's got so much potential to be one of the best Zerg players out there. He just hasn't really hit that yet. But I think that this year could be his year to do so.
That's right. I fully believe it. If it doesn't happen here, later in the year perhaps as well, because it is showing that now he's on Dead Pixels. He's not on a Kesper team anymore. He's on an individual foreign team, I guess you would call it, which means that he's going to go to a lot of individual tournaments, get himself lots of WCS points, which means we'll be seeing him at more Intel Extreme Masters.
And he needs to perform at these as well, because he's not in... Well, right now, he hasn't qualified for GSL, he hasn't qualified for Star League, and he doesn't play in Pro League. He needs to travel to these events, and he also needs to do well if he wants to stand out above the rest. And there is a lot of good Zerg players, there's a lot of good Korean players in Korea wanting to break out. He is one of them. He needs to do well at this event.
He does. And let's switch over into game number 1 without further ado. Maru is so small. I never met him in person until today. He is even smaller than I thought he would be. He is a tiny, tiny guy, but a huge Terran player in the top right here from Jin Air. This is Maru.
First place from the Korea and Asian qualifiers.
Yes.
The most difficult qualifier there is out there.
No small feat. And in the bottom left here from Dead Pixels, we're talking about a little bit before the game started, this is True.
Who very sadly failed to qualify for the event.
Yep.
But upon failing to qualify, traveled over here anyway. It's a very short flight from Korea to Taiwan.
It is, yeah. It's just about, I think, about 2-hour flight from Korea. So the Koreans very, very alert and sharp today.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, True, once again, not managing to get through the qualifiers and roughing it through probably the most horrifying open bracket that Intel Extreme Masters has had for a while.
Sulky just advanced to the round of 8. True's already beaten Sulky 2-1 in the open bracket. He then went on to beat Liquid Hero and a favorite of ours, Leenock. He's shown that he can tangle with the best.
Yes.
Let's hopefully he can do it in Group D today.
Absolutely. And the best is definitely what he's up against here. Maru going gasless for now. We'll be dropping it really shortly if he's going to drop it at all, but no. So it looks like he's going to be just getting those minerals for a little bit. Yeah,
he hasn't decided to take a gas on 12, and this is something I've started to notice a lot in the Korean metagame, and especially from this youngster right now, is they're no longer going for Reaper first, but they're also not going for Command Center first. They're going in the middle, which means a gas is usually taken around 14 or 15 supply, and then what he wants to do here is build a couple of Marines when the barracks is done to be safe, but then go straight for the reactor, and then the factory on top.
Yeah, first gas only halfway getting done now, so that is a little bit later than we're used to be seeing. But yeah, we mentioned it when 4GG was playing live. Terrans like to go for the Marine first, deny Overlord scouts, try and keep them in the dark a little bit, which is very difficult when you know, there's 2 or 3 Overlords on that side of the map, suiciding into your main or trying to get into the natural and have a look at what's going on. You got to, if you can bat those away, you can pull a fast one.
And when you're such an unpredictable Terran like Maru is, that is a very good thing for you to do, because you don't know what he's going to be doing. And if you're hiding what you're doing with a Marine or 2, you can play the 3 command center and make the Zerg player worried that he could be attacked, yet you're pushing your economy further. And of course, Flipway as well. If he's expecting 3CC, you can go over towards an aggressive push. And Maru, I think that's definitely one of his biggest strengths, along with his aggression, is that he is very unpredictable.
He is. I mean, you're forced to SCV scout. Obviously, you're not going to burn a scan or anything silly like that in the early game. So without the Reaper, sending that SCV down there and the second SCV to expand, with 2 Marines kind of just holding to deny any Link scouts. They're not hunting for Overlords or anything like that. He's not going deep out there. So nice large map. It's actually very good spawn positions for Maru, I feel, having close air here, considering his multitask and his drop play and the aggression.
Which I'm sure we're going to see in this game, because what another added benefit of getting the reactor pretty much straight away here is you're able to squeeze out quite a few Marines before you need to switch up the factory with the barracks here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Maru try to get a starport, build 6 to 8 Marines, and do this type of drop that we've seen from players such as Flash, where they drop the Marines and run in with the Hellions. It can really punish a greedy Zerg.
Oh, and there he goes. He's found himself an Overlord, a big, juicy, fat one. 2 Marines, maybe able to burn it down. It's going to be close. True tries to mark it away, but it's all for naught. Nice supply block there, and that's actually a really nice pick-off for Maru.
Yeah,
and conversely, devastating for True.
Yeah, not a good start here for the Dead Pixels player.
Working on those back rocks there, looking to get himself another channel to the back area here, which is not generally done on Dead Wing, so this is an interesting decision from True.
He's going to catch another Overlord.
Oh my god, Maru. He can't be stopped, man. He's heading towards that 3rd.
The Marines just don't see the Overlord to the right of them. Otherwise, it's a free Overlord.
Indeed. And that, god. Poor True if that happened, but lucky for him, Maru wasn't completely searching for that one last Overlord, but he is getting the starport, and you're absolutely right. I feel like maybe Marine and Mine drop with Hellions
That's what it's going to be here. And True has spread himself very thin across 3 bases, and he's droning up quite a lot. There's no Roach Warren down yet. There's not a lot of gas in the bank. There's no Baneling Nest. There's nothing really to deal with this type of play
yet. Droning very heavily. He's just made around 6 drones. This third hatchery is already in a lot of trouble. This Overlord, actually, is going to supply block True in a second. Oh boy, he's just had to start another one because he knows he's not going to be able to make any units for a little bit once that one goes down. The Queen's doing good damage here, but there is so much Terran. He's just going to have to... It looks like he has to sacrifice this third hatchery.
Oh man, his entire game plan revolves around that. His entire build.
Maru not getting super greedy with his attack here. He's actually pulling back and waiting for that drop, I guess.
He doesn't understand that his opponent's heavily supply blocked, so there could have been a rush of Zerglings out and he would have lost everything, so he's going to pull back safe, even though he could have stayed there.
So True switching things up, dropping the Roach Warren. Feels forced to have to make Roaches at this point, so he's not going to defend with Banelings, like you mentioned. There is no nest. And Maru following this up as Terrans like to do, getting that one Viking to kill more Overlords and deny more scouting. This Overlord, nicely placed from True, will scout this drop.
Can he stop it though?
Can he react? He doesn't have much of units.
Detection for the Widowmine that's in there.
You're absolutely right. There is no lair. There is no Spore Crawler. Widowmine gets dropped at the top of the extractor there, and these drones just have to leave. Nothing that True can do about it.
No, he's about to have Roaches pop there, so if he joins his all army together, he will be able to push this back eventually, but that Widowmine's going to be a nuisance. Oh no, he actually got to pick it up.
Interesting. I'm surprised he didn't just leave it there to deny more further mining time.
20 lings, a great scan here, by the way. A scan reveals on the natural, the Baneling Nest, and a bunch of Zerglings.
Wow, beautiful star sense from Maru. He's going to be, well, I mean, he has all the information, but will he still hold? It looks really good. So far, he's done everything. He hasn't lost his Hellions. He hasn't really lost any units at all. And he's dropping the static defense. The bunkers are coming down already here. The Roaches and the Lings taking the middle of the map away. And this one Widowmine will actually kill a couple Lings, but not too much.
This guy is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable play so far from Maru. He's set up defensively back at home, and if he nails this defense, I would say there's a perfect game from him.
It's borderline perfect right now. It's not far off, if that's for damn sure. Marines have filled up that bunker, and they'll continue to, as there's 3 bunkers down for Maru here. The Banelings are being morphed. The Viking completely aware of the Baneling count. He's just hovering above the Zerg army here.
He knows exactly what's going on. Going to start to wall that bunker in. He's probably going to have to evacuate the bunkers as the Banelings roll in to make sure the units survive and not just die instantly.
And he's following this up with the Banshee as well. And the Banshee's going to help a lot against the Roaches. I don't think it'll be in this first attack, though. Nice supply block wall. The first bunker does go down. The second one, not down just yet, but will shortly follow the 2 Banelings heading into the middle. Actually, they all got sacrificed on that bunker there.
Oh, man. This isn't working.
No, not at all. True has got a lot of Roaches left, but they're getting very low. And there's only 3 Banelings here slow. I mean, they're away from the bunker, but it just takes a little bit of Hellion micro, and these Banelings can be sniped here. He's just concentrating on the Roaches for now. The Banelings got a detonation there, but there wasn't that many SCVs at all. Only 8, and he lost so many resources here.
Yeah, he's down in supply, but he's ahead in the game. 1-1 upgrades on the way, Stim about to finish. The Banshees are out, or at least that one Banshee. Very good defense there.
Very nicely done. So he's dropping Spore Crawlers. You did see that Banshee. So True trying to deal with the counter-attack, which Maru could possibly do here. He's definitely going to try and send the Banshee across the map and get some economic damage done because he is already in such a good spot economically. Why not get further ahead? 1-1 on the way. 3rd CC floating over to take it as well.
Yeah, nice catch-up with drones, though, by True, working off these 3 hatcheries very well. He's able to catch up in drones, and now starting his lair, starting his evolution chambers. A little bit behind, though.
Widowmine coming back. There is a Spore Crawler, so he does have the detection. The Queen can deal with that, but the Widowmine will get a shot off. If he targets the drones, he's going to get a cluster here. Oh, 5 drones to the Widowmine. He picks it up. That's just another big blow to True there.
Unfortunately hit. No, I was going to say the combat shields is missing, but it's just started, so never mind on that.
That's right. Nearly pulled a Maynard there for getting combat shields. Glad to see that he's consistently better than I am.
When this 1-1 completes, we're going to have a very, very powerful attack. Yeah. There's going to be 1-1 versus 0-0 Zerglings. There'll also be combat shields in this. There's going to be Medivacs. There'll be no Baneling speed. If the attack starts to move out very shortly, there should be no Baneling speed. It's going to be kind of difficult for True to defend it.
Decent preparation in the main from True, at least. This drop should be shut down pretty hard here. He's got 3 Banelings and a lot of Lings. Maru just needs to leave. Oh, might get another Overlord, though. True.
He needs to start Baneling speed.
That's another supply block. Big one, too.
Stress how important Baneling speed is.
Yeah, because he doesn't have... I mean, his creep spread's okay, but it's not as far as say, Life versus 4GG, where he already had creep at the tower at this point. True needs to engage a little bit off creep and also on creep when with a player like Maru splitting his units Baneling speed is a must-get.
Well, these units can just do unlimited amounts of damage. Great micro by Maru, targeting down the Banelings, and then just sitting there doing maximum amounts of damage before the Marines started to die off, and then picks them up, gets out of there. The 1-1 upgrades are complete, and this would be a perfect time to fight.
Absolutely. 1-1 is done. Stim is done. Combat shield also done. These Marines could almost engage that ball of Zerglings. It's actually a very close fight there. 1-1 not quite done for True, so it's a 2-upgrade lead for Maru for the next few seconds at least. 30
Still
links.
No Baneling speed. No Baneling speed is so bad.
True just struggling to find himself a foothold here against Maru. Such a scary player. He picks up getting more Banelings. So efficient here is Maru. He's not making any mistakes.
He's just tearing True apart. Absolutely wonderful play. And this is the style, as I mentioned before. It's fun, it's aggressive, it's entertaining, and it's brilliant.
And the Widowmine, oh my god, that Widowmine killed so many Zerglings. Oh boy. Bad goes to worse for our poor friend True here as Maru continues to tear him apart. Death by 1,000 punches.
And it's not even all the, cool maneuvers he's doing with his units. It's that he's nailing everything back at home as well. His extra production, his unit production.
His macro is flawless.
It's brilliant, and he's climbing further and further ahead in supply.
He is indeed. Continuing to pick up and not even really losing any units at all while doing this. Losing a Marine here and there, no big deal. He always has the hot pickup and does maximum damage to those Zerglings on the ground. And True just needs to worry about this constant harassment from Maru. He just finally got a medevac there.
Yeah, it's because he's been so stressed and so under pressure that he has to build Banelings not to die, that he hasn't been able to build Mutalisks, which are the counter to Medivacs. And because the counter is not there, Maru persistently keeps on hammering that one home. Finally, Baneling speed starts, but it's a little bit too late.
And just one Mutalisk coming up for poor True here. He's making them one at a time.
But look at his gas bank.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that they all should be Mutalisks at this point in the game, but he's got no room to breathe.
He's had to make Lings, he's had to remake drones. He's losing both of them consistently as this game goes along. He's going for a counterattack here. There is an opening, the mines aren't dropped, but Drilling Claws is on the way.
Drops in 3 places with a Banshee doing harassment inside the main base while defending at home.
Oh my god, this kid. He's looking
unbelievable.
He's looking as strong against this player as Life looked against 4GG. Both these players just look like they're a level or 2 above their opponent.
There was 3 players that we all mentioned that would stand out in this tournament. It was always going to be Hero, it was always going to be Life, and it was always going to be this Terran play right here, and he's living up to the hype.
Oh my god.
And he's just absolutely demolishing True. It's not even close, this game. Not even close.
Not even once, man. And what a debut for this guy in Intel Extreme Masters. Could you ask for a better game?
No, you couldn't have.
Oh
absolutely
my god.
Perfect from the get-go, and now he's coming in for the finishing blow. He's done with the harassment. He's here with his army, and he's worn True down to 80 supply through Medivac drops over and over. Here comes the finishing blow.
And see you, Banelings. The Widowmines deal with all of that, and that was True's last line of defense. If there even is one left, and this should be the GG push here from Maru. He's on top of the spire and takes himself game number 1 very, very convincingly.
Annihilation. Absolute annihilation.
Damn, man. Looking good for that Maru Life Finals that we were talking about. We were hoping was happening.
There's nothing you can fault there.
No.
You can look at small things like, oh, he didn't start his 2-2 upgrades on time. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No. He's controlling 3 different drops at the same time. If he never had 2-2 in that game, it wouldn't have mattered. He was fine with the upgrades he had.
Yeah.
Wonderful performance here for the 18-year-old.
Beautiful stuff, yeah. His Widowmines just connected as well as they could. The drops were non-stop. He never stopped. The units that he had were almost never passive in that game. He was always using them. So, I mean, we could gush about Maru all day, but we still need to see if True can tie the series. He does have the skills to pay the bills, Apollo. So we'll find out shortly. We're going to take a break before we get into game number 2. Please don't go away. Welcome back, StarCraft fans. This is game number 2 about to start between Maru and True. And True is going to need to play the series of his life to stand a chance here against this incredible Terran.
I know, and I've spoken to a lot of casual StarCraft players and viewers in the past. And at the highest level, sometimes it's very difficult to tell the difference between who's winning and who's losing. And sometimes you ask, or sometimes you tell people, well, look, the easiest way is to look at the supply, and that's who's winning and losing. But I think anybody not knowing StarCraft at all could easily tell the difference between these two players. It was a world of difference between the two. Absolutely fantastic start here of the tournament.
Well, there was a bunch of red units and blue units, and the red units were dying and the blue units were living the whole time. So it's a pretty easy way to...
It's a very easy one to look at there to see who is winning. and I have a feeling something very similar is going to happen as we load into game number 2 here. True. Susie talked a little bit about his nerves and that he's nervous when he gets onto stage, and it's his 3rd time at this level in the tournament at the round of 16, and it's like, oh no, it's happening again. But he's just faced one of the best players in the world, if not the best Terran. Like, it's so very difficult up there on stage, I'm sure it is for him.
Yeah, he does have a bit of stage fright. Maru, however, plays on stage pretty much every day. Like during Pro League, SSL, doesn't matter. You name it. He plays consistently on stage, never phased. He is a rock-solid, emotionless killing machine.
And he has not been eliminated from any tournament he's played in so far this year. He's trading wins in Pro League, but that's a little bit different. But in GSL and in the Star League, he's in the round of 16 for both. He's looking to try and grab the double in those 2 tournaments, and what a feat that would be. But he's here in Taiwan to try and grab his first international trophy. And remember, this is also his first international tournament at the Intellitree Masters.
That's right. We're going to switch over into game 2 right now. See how this guy goes along. True just needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat, man. He's got to play incredibly good. He needs to level himself up. He needs to be like Goku in the fight against Frieza, changing into a Super Saiyan mid-fight. He needs to do this mid-series against Maru.
He does. He does.
Yeah, and this is the player in question, True from Dead Pixel, sorry, I keep saying that, jeez. And then the top here from Jin Green Wings. Who can mistake this guy? This is Maru. And he's probably on the inside as happy and bright as that star in his CC, but he's not showing it on his face.
The choice of strategy explains and describes everything for me and what he's thinking. He's here. This is a waste of my time against you. You're not even putting up a fight. I might as well just 2-rack you and end it like this.
True actually corrected his Overlord, just realizing that he should probably look for proxies here, and he's sending it kind of towards where the proxy is, but it's going to be Proxy Reaper too, by the looks of things.
Yeah, it's going to be Proxy Reaper. There is going to be a second barracks here, or at least a regular scout. I'm not too sure what this second SCV is. He's going to see the racks here. Yeah, he is, if he keeps going here.
And this is going to be good for True. Scouting it at this time, the barracks about, halfway done. If you see that, if you see the second barracks go down as well, well, I mean, he is getting a hatch first, which is a shame.
This is good for True, though. This is good that he's able to spot this so early on.
Yeah, definitely. So, good star sense from him. Sending the Overlord off. Does see it. It doesn't tip off to Maru that he's seen it either.
The problem is, he doesn't know exactly what this is. No, because he scouted it. He scouted the tip of the barracks.
Just the tip.
He didn't know if there was another barracks behind it or not. He doesn't know if this is Reaper or Marines.
Yeah, he hasn't seen any gas. Obviously, the Overlords are only on his half of the map.
He's chosen to try and get a gas here, so that will work out well for him eventually, but he's going to take a lot of damage in the meantime. He's going to have to control very well. His Queen is going to be super important to get out.
Maru probably going to drop a bunker at some point towards the main or in between the main and the natural here. Make things a little bit easier for his Reapers to stay alive. And aggression is incoming. Reaper number 1 about to pop. And there's that bunker. Just out the front of the main on the ramp there.
All right, both sides of this need to micro the best they can do.
SCV still alive. There's Reaper going to town here, and we got some leagues on the way. True obviously getting that spawning pool because he's not silly. He doesn't want to die to this.
Yeah.
1 Queen, 6 Lings on the way, saving drones by turning them into extractors. Nice little tricks you can do. And 6 Lings are out, so this bunker's in a lot of trouble. This Reaper as well. He's making a spine crawler as well. A spore crawler.
Yeah, that's just to save the drone, but he should make a spine crawler against this type of pressure. He should stop mining gas now. I think that you should just get Zergling speed. You could try to build a Roach Warren, but that is a long time to get the Roach Warren out here.
And second Reaper's joined the fray. Looks like Maru
he's mining way too much gas now. He's waiting. I mean, look at his mineral income. It's very bad here compared to his gas. Just get out of gas, get speed, Stay calm. He's losing a lot.
Yeah, he is. Zergling's dying left and right. Drone's going down as well. Oh, this Queen's getting half health.
Man.
She's getting very, very low, and this is already looking pretty bad for True.
I think Maru's control is just going to win this game here, Maynard.
Yeah, he's got the spine crawler, which is going to help a lot. He's unrooting it to move it towards the bunker.
But Maru can dance around the spine crawler. He doesn't have to fight the spine. He can go around the back. He can go anywhere he wants.
He can circle around behind the minerals. In fact, another drone being saved to the spore crawler, but there might be almost too much DPS that he actually can burn down the spore crawler with Reapers. Not something that I'd normally say in a cast of StarCraft, Apollo, but...
True is waiting till he can get Zergling speed and just kind of get us to wrap around, because until then, he's going to be kited all day.
He's going to try and get us around here with the drones, but oh my god, covered in butter. Slips straight through, and True is being embarrassed by Maru right now, just with this Reaper rush on 2 proxy barracks.
You couldn't have said it better. This series is... It will be for True disappointing.
Absolutely.
He would have loved to have shown and done better, but he has been outclassed in every department. He got absolutely destroyed in game number 1. And he's just been run around in game number 2.
Heartbreaking to watch, man. I mean, I'm a Terran player, and I love to see Terrans win, but boy, this I really feel for True here.
Yeah,
this is just a huge outclassing by Maru in this series.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost got enough Reapers to take on the spine crawler. GG, absolutely flawless 2-0.
Flawless victory.
Look, he's bored.
He's bored, man.
This game is too easy for a kid
like this. Give me a tougher opponent. What is this? Intel Extreme Masters. Where's life? Give him to me.
He's got to go through parting first in the winners match, Maynard.
That's right.
But I know he wants life.
He does.
I know he wants Hero, he wants anyone else, but True just got... I mean, there is very few words to describe what just happened to this man. Some of them too extreme for the broadcast.
Shrek'd. Probably one that you could say.
You could use that one.
You could. And I will. I just did.
He got absolutely annihilated. It wasn't close. That was a very fast series. And True is... let's just say for True, you want to hope that Maru goes through in first place, because if you want to fight for second place, you do not want to play this guy again. You have to be able to beat Parting or Hydra. You've got no chance here.
Yeah, so I mean, he does still have a shot at getting out of the group for True fans, so don't feel too bad about that. So Parting, I mean, Parting has actually beaten Maru before, so if Parting and Maru fight, could possibly go either way.
Yeah.
But, geez, he just looks so solid. I mean,
this is unbelievable. And I mean, he's traveled to very few tournaments. This is a very easy one for him to travel to. It's a hop over the pond here, just 2 hours worth of travel. There's no adjustment really to food. I'm sure they brought a lot of their own food over. There's no adjustment to time zones. He's in prime condition. And of course he's in prime condition because he plays, I mean, he's the ace. He is the man at Jin Air. Along with SOS, he is the boy that they always look towards to win their games. He's doing excellently in GSL. He's in top form, and he's showing it at this tournament.
That's right. And we're just going to cross over and talk to the man in question himself, Maru at the desk with Red Eye. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Maynard and Apollo there on the commentary for our first game in Group D. Yes, Maru is with us. Congratulations, Maru. Very nice win indeed. Let's talk through the 2 maps themselves. And first of all, let's talk about map 2. Great Reaper proxy. I mean, was that a plan all along? Were you thinking, having watched what he'd done before, that's how you were going to play it? How did that come about?
이 경기 때 그 리퍼 나왔을 때 그렇게 할 거라고 예상을 하고 게임을 시작한 건지. 그러니까 그 게임 플레이, 네가 짜온 게임이 그대로 잘 펼쳐진 거죠.
다 나온 것 같아요.
그래?
네.
He feels that whatever he prepared, everything just kind of went exactly the way that he wanted it to go.
It didn't really matter.
뭐 그쪽이 색다른 걸 했다 상관없어도 그냥 이겼을 거라고 생각해?
선풀이었으면 좀 힘들었을 것 같은데 멀티부터 가져가는 빌드라서 쉽게 이겼던 것 같아요.
His build was that he had expanded first, and so he felt like it was just a really easy win for him.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, because he looked quite bored in the booth, how easy was the match? Was it 1 being very easy, 10 being hard?
딱 부스에 봤을 때는 얼굴 표정이 완전 지루하고 좀 이 게임 쉬웠다라는 표정이 나왔었거든. 그래서 1이 너무 쉬웠다, 10은 힘들었다 였으면은 뭐야? 이번에 지금 이 선수랑 같이 붙은 거.
한 5.
He says 5.
Oh, okay, so 5.
He says 5.
All right, okay.
진짜로 5야? 아니면 지금 겸손하게 5라고 한 거였어?
모르겠어요.
I asked him, is it really 5, or did you just say that because you're trying to be nice and respectful? And he went, I don't know.
Okay, we'll take that as him trying to be nice.
These were two very well-conducted games, and obviously he's on a Kespa team, so I'm guessing he practices a lot. Going to these tournaments, does he feel confident compared to as to when he would have to practice for a single league match, like usually he does it with Pro League? Now he's going to have to basically go along the way, find out who he has to play, and then come up with a plan and play on the spot. Does that format, does he like it? Is he confident in it?
이제 한국에서는 프로리그 할 때는 자기 상대방이 누군지 알면서 그걸 다 준비하면서 게임을 할 수 있는데 여기서는 이제 가면서 상대방을 바로바로 받고 거기서 이제 그걸 맞춰서 게임을 해야 되는데 그런 스타일이 뭐 불안한 점이 있던지 뭐 상관없던지 어떻게 생각해?
저는 오히려 이게 더 좋은 것 같아요.
왜?
준비할 시간이 많으면 상대방도 이렇게 준비가 많이 되는데 저는 바로 하는 게 좋은 것 같아요.
He actually likes the style where he just gets to go because if he has time to prepare for an opponent, then the opponent obviously has time to prepare for him, but he feels that this is better for him, that he could just kind of find an opponent and just go for it.
So having answered this way, I wonder actually, where does he rate his chances of simply winning this tournament then?
그러면 그렇게 대답을 한다면 우승할 수 있을 것 같아? 이거 전체적으로 다?
네, 할 수 있을 것 같아요.
Yeah. He said, I asked him, so, you know, if you're thinking like this, do you think you have a chance to win the whole thing? He goes, yeah, I think I can.
Can we ask? Can we ask about how he's never phased by anything?
Yeah.
Is there like I don't want to offend him?
Well,
But
actually, let me ask the question directly. What worries you, Maru, in life? What worries
that's
you?
a great way to
그래서
ask
여기
it.
있는 분들 그렇고 지금 해설자들도 항상 그런 말이 나오는데 얼굴 표정 보면은 걱정이 하나도 없어.
저요?
스트레스 안 받는 것 같고 너무 편해.
What's he
게임할
scared
때.
of?
두려워하는 게 뭐가 있어?
저 되게 걱정 많이 하는데
무슨 걱정?
지면 어떡하지?
He says he actually does have a lot of worries.
Okay.
And I said, what kind of worries? He goes, what do I do if I lose?
That's brilliant. Okay, but he's not. Is he afraid of spiders or
아니
snakes or
진짜 그냥
anything?
게임 말고도 무서워하는 거 있어? 뭐 거미 같은 거든지
다 무서워요.
다 무서워해? He said everything. I was like spiders kind of thing. He's like no everything.
He has a great poker
Scared
face.
of everything?
완전 포커 페이스인데?
경기할 때만.
He said only during games he's got a
Okay.
poker face, but
Alright.
he's scared of everything.
Oh.
All right, fair enough. Well, he does it very well. I would never know when he's got a pair of aces in his pocket. That's for sure. Maru, what do you think of parting next?
이제 다음 이사기 선수랑 붙을 건데 그 선수는 어떻다고 생각해?
이상한 것만 조심하면은 제가 이길 것 같아요.
이상한 것만 조심하면.
네.
He said as long as he's cautious of maybe strange plays that Parting might have, he's pretty confident he'll win.
What about Parting's mind games?
어,
How does he block them out?
이사기가 좀 멘탈 싸움을 잘하는 것 같은데 심리적인 싸움을 많이 잘하는 것 같은데 그거에 대해서 어떻게 생각해?
저랑은 상관없는데 자꾸 저 혼자 말려가지고 지는 경기가 많았어요. 그래서 안 말리도록 해야 될 것 같아요.
Okay, he says it doesn't really affect me all that much, but Parting's been just kind of trying to put him down and say like, hey, you know, I've played a lot of games, you know, and things like that to him. But he was just like, as long as I don't let that get to me, it should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a lot of processes actually in the tournament, not overlooking parting or anything, but those that worry him going further in the tournament to have potentially to face like guys like Hero, Classic, and all these guys.
지금 엄청 많은 프로토스가 8강으로 올라왔는데 그거에 대해서 걱정되는 건 없어?
네, 없어요.
He's not worried.
No, he just gave me a straight. I just said, "Are you worried about it?" He said, "No."
Brilliant. I love it.
He's very straightforward, guys. I want to know, you know, he's the only Terran now going into this. Last Terran. And we know, like, in Tasia, when he comes into these tournaments, he does very well, even though he's a Terran. I'm just going to ask him how he feels about that. 지금 이제 테란으로는 마지막으로 남았는데 테란의 힘으로 끝까지 진짜 갈 수 있을 것 같은지. 테란이 뭐 약한 점이 있다고 생각해?
안 좋죠.
Hang on. I think I've got this.
He gives the
I don't think
shortest
I don't think he cares.
I don't think he cares. Well, I asked, I was like, is there anything bad about Terran? I mean, and he was like, no, Terran's not very good. But that was his answer.
Okay. So Life basically thinks Zergs are the least strong. He thinks Terrans are the least strong. Brilliant. I think we've got it.
I think we got
What do
it.
you
it
think?
all
I
out.
think.
I think you think Protoss is underpowered. I think that might be. So
아까
I think
승현이는
balance
저그가
game.
제일 약하다고 그랬고 너는 테란이랑 저그랑 어느 게 더 약하다고 생각해?
테란이 좀 더 약한 것 같아요.
I asked, you know, Life had said that. what do you think? He was like, no, I think Terran's a little weaker than Zerg.
Oh dear. These are all mind games. They're all going towards
really
the end
think
game.
so.
Thank you very much, Maru, and well done for winning your opening game. We'll see Maru very shortly because he'll be going through the play parting. The man with all the mind tricks, but they're not getting past our 17-year-old champion, that's for sure. That one's coming up after the break. Don't go too far away.